Let's now welcome in Dwayne Bowe, somewhere over the Dwayne Bowe, which is one of the best fantasy names of all time. It's too good. Dwayne, how are you?
I'm blessed. How you doing?
We are doing great. We're so glad you're on today. I told you before we recorded, I'm born and raised Kansas City. I'm a Chiefs fan. I've got to ask, coming out of Miami and then Baton Rouge, Louisiana, you get to Kansas City, which I think is a warm, beautiful place. You probably thought that was kind of chilly, kind of northern, huh?
Yes, it was freezing. It definitely was a culture shock coming from Miami to Louisiana. It got hotter, and I was like, okay, it can't get any hotter than Louisiana. Then when I got to Kansas City this summer in Wisconsin, it was like 105 degrees, and we was like, oh God, I thought Wisconsin was cold. It was like everything was a culture shock, but once I got assimilated into it, it was pretty breezy.
What about the food in Kansas City? Is there a restaurant or a place that you really liked? I've got to know.
Oh yeah, definitely Gates.
Yeah.
It was this one place by River Falls. No. By St. Joe. What was it called? Boudreaux's? Yeah. Oh my gosh, it was a Cajun restaurant. And the
Cajun
guy,
in Kansas City, out of coming LSU. Serious?
yes, and it was in St. Joe, so it was by training camp. So I used to go there, and I met the guy actually in LSU, and it was just crazy how we bonded. And like once we started doing camp in St. Joe, I took the whole team over there, let them eat and just taste what I was tasting my whole time at LSU. And that year, we actually had a good record from going.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
I spent a year in Miami. I had a showdown there for a little bit. What do you think it is about Miami that makes it such a football culture where so many beasts come out of?
I think it's just the struggle when you really think about, Miami and the parts of Miami that's bad, and that's where a lot of guys that actually play in the NFL now came from those suburb areas where they had to, survive. And I think playing on survival makes guys even better because that's all they know is how to get out of a situation. So when you get to the NFL, you're always going to be faced with adversity. And I think coming from, those areas that you had to fight, once you get to the NFL, you're used to fighting those adversities and being able to maneuver through and, play 10 years like I did. So.
Man. So when you leave Miami and the tough upbringing that you're describing and you go play for Nick Saban, what is that like? I assume that's quite the change. Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
He definitely was a hard coach, and he definitely instilled in us, quality roles that we had to be men at young ages. And, shout out Coach Saban, but he definitely prepared a lot of guys that's doing actually really well in the NFL now, going through his program.
Mm-hmm.
And the mind games he put you through at the age of 19, 20 that was going to prepare you for the mind games that you're going to go through when you're 25 and 26. So
wait, what do you mean mind games? I got to know. Mind games?
Mind games, of course, it's 10% talent and 90%, mind games. I just want to see if you can, play at a high level during adversity. That could mean you could be having a baby on the way. You can't miss practice to see your baby. You have to, they're paying you millions of dollars to work. And once you realize that's a job and you can't just call off sick making millions of dollars, I think that's when you understand the game is really a business and you approach it that way.
Yeah, you see, my co-host Olivia is expecting a baby. You see, we're not getting paid millions of dollars, but you cannot call in sick, Olivia. You got to bring it every night. I'm the Nick Saban of podcasts. I won't tolerate any slacking.
Okay, noted.
I have a question for you that I've always wondered about. When you were super fast, but there's a lot of guys who are super fast at that level, especially when you go from D1 to the pros. Is it what separates a guy when it's just you and a corner and you guys are battling? How do you get that space? Is that a mental game? Is that a little push? Is it a little dirty? Like, how do you get that separation on a guy who's just as fast as you? What's that game like?
It's definitely a mental game, like you said. I think once you figure out a guy's how he moves, how he opens up, and just all, like back then we didn't have social media to really intimidate a guy prior to playing him. We just had to watch him and we meet him when we meet him. But it's like now guys can really study and see, okay, if one guy trash talked him and got him out of his game, let me try that next week. And you just got to use those small little fine details. That's what I'm saying about mind games. It's not all about the bigger guy wins, because the guy can be faster and smarter, and he can lock you down. So it's just a little mind game, like you said, and the small attention to detail that'll prepare you for the next level. And that's Coach Saban and Coach Miles did an excellent job at that.
Oh, yeah. And you kind of set this precedent at LSU of great wide receivers. You're kind of an OG, actually, when we look at that crop of talent. Rookie of the Year, Justin Jefferson. Potential Rookie of the Year, Jamar Chase. He's lighting it up this year. What's it like watching these young guys flourish and follow in your footsteps?
It's amazing knowing that I had, 10% of my input helping those guys, going back every year, talking to them and letting them see what it is to, see a guy that's been in the NFL, that played at a high level, that set these records. And for these guys to break them, that just let you know that guys are getting better and better because they're paying attention to the small detail. Like I said, we didn't have the luxury of watching film in 4K. So we really couldn't really tell. It was just all experience. Go out there and do your thing. But it's amazing watching those guys go out there and set the standard high for guys that played at LSU.
When you were drafted, you got drafted by the Chiefs. Quarterbacks that were splitting time. You had a second stringer and a third stringer. Offensive line was a tragedy at that time. So that first year was a little tough for you. How much of a player's success is dictated by the situation they're drafted in, the offense that's conducive to their talents?
Oh my gosh, 90%.
Yeah.
It all depends on, like you said, it's the system and the quarterback. It surrounds the quarterback. And, unfortunately, my first couple of years, my quarterback situation, we had 5 quarterbacks one year, 4 the next year. So, and every year we had a different offensive coordinator. So for me, I was always on the go, learning new system, new quarterback, new players, which made it kind of hard. But I'm not gonna say, my job was to catch the ball no matter what, who's throwing it. But if you don't have any consistency at that position, of course, your stats and your personal goals, what you want to reach, is not gonna be on point, because it all starts with the head coach, quarterback, and the system.
And when you were drafted, you got to go with some Tiger teammates, Jamarcus Russell, Buster Davis. It's kind of like what we see with Jamar Chase I was talking about earlier. He's with Tiger quarterback Joe Burrow. How valuable is that familiarity at the next level? Because we talk a lot about it with Burrow and Chase.
It's you see it. It's like
no
other like. It's hardly, you never see guys that mesh that quick, that early, unless they came together. You know what I'm saying? And the way they're clicking right now, the way he's just unbelievably, he's just showing, I'm talking about, he's mind-blowing. But then you think about Justin Jefferson, he's great as well. And he had a whole new quarterback. So it all depends on, the swagger you come in with, the confidence and the time that you spend with your quarterback. It'll make it much easier.
Last LSU question. I swear I'm moving on, but I'm a big college football nut. Who do you think should take the LSU job?
I think Jimbo should.
He's not leaving. There's no way.
Oh, my gosh.
No way.
But if he don't, I really was just hoping. I was hoping something popped up any day saying, oh, Jimbo. But
no.
I don't know who can control those guys, man. Those guys they're grown men over there, and they want to win now.
Yeah, they do.
You have to put away your pride sometimes if you're a coach and just let guys go out there and play. If you're trying to, keep your job, you got to let those guys just go out there and play like they know how.
It's such a good job. It's one of the best in the country, but it's a tough year because USC is also open. I mean, these coaches have a lot of options these days. I don't know. I can't wait to see who goes to LSU.
I can't wait either.
Yeah.
Urban Meyer finally pulled out a huge upset this week. You guys saw, beat the Buffalo Bills. Everyone lost a lot of money on that game. Or if you bet on Jacksonville, you made a lot of money. How much do lap dances help coaches prepare for games? And was that thing overblown? The guy was just blowing off some steam.
Yeah, I can't say we did it when we played. It's a form of it's time to just relax, because all week it's Raider week. It's they drilling it. You just need a couple of hours just to de-stress and say, what, I'm a professional. This young lady right here just made me feel invisible. I'm going to go out there tomorrow and I'm going to lay it all on the line. Some guys need
night before a game.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah. You got to play hard and work hard.
You gotta treat yourself. Don't cheat yourself.
Oh, that is rich. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm trying to think of locations in Kansas City that one would go, but I'm not sure. That's not my area.
Hooters. You gotta go to Hooters.
Somewhere where guys just want to feel that good energy. Wait for somebody to come give you that good energy. You leave there and you continue that along with your day and your night. And so I did well playing like that. So.
Yeah, people too judgmental.
Yeah.
Speaking of people who get a lot of judgment, Odell Beckham Jr. I'm a big Giants fan. A lot of people have been drawing a lot of parallels between your situation in Cleveland and his situation in Cleveland. Can you speak on that a bit?
I mean, like you said, like you've seen it. It's unfortunately it had to go that way, but when I was playing, it wasn't my fault. Like I said, it starts from up top. And if somebody up top don't like somebody at the bottom, the people in between get caught up in it, and that's just what it was. I came there to do my job. Every time they threw me the ball, I made a play. I never was late, never missed was always available. But like I said, it go from upstairs to downstairs, and unfortunately, Beckham was in the crossfire. He come to work every day, prove that he's the best, and he just wanted the ball. But nowadays, you can't express yourself. You have to be a team player. I was always a team player. I kept my mouth closed, never said nothing, came to work. Odell's just so passionate that he wants to win. And when I was there, I wanted to win too, but I figured I can't beat the system by being combative. I just have to let it play out, and it played out the way it played. And I was sent home, and that same thing happened to Odell. He's just, when you're a good player, you just want to win. It's kind of hard to fight that from the people up top. That's all.
Do you think that it was more of a planned group attack with his dad posting the video? Because I like to think that he's got a pretty big camp and that was intentional.
I can't tell. I don't know. I just don't. I mean, I know his father. I know his father wouldn't intentionally do that. But like I said, he has feelings, and he wants his son to be the best. And even when I was at Kansas City, I went a whole year without scoring a touchdown, but I didn't do that. I just tried to score every time I got the ball. And it's just, it's different outlets, so a lot of people gonna stare it up the way they do. But they're all about positive energy. They're all about winning, and that's what they got out of that.
There's a lot of criticism about his best days are behind him. He was great in New York, but what is he now? Where do you think would be a good fit for Odell?
Kansas City.
But, I like it.
I think he needs to go somewhere where discipline is a big factor, and I think
New England.
I think New England, just as a whole, from the coaching staff to the players, that everybody wants to. They're just missing one piece. It's just like when Randy Moss went there, they were just missing that one piece. Mm-hmm. I think Mike Jones is a great quarterback, so I think that'd be a good fit for him to get him out of the publicity side. And if you go there, he's going to be quiet. He's going to do his thing, and you're going to hear about him on Sundays and Mondays. You're not going to hear about him Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You know what I mean? Yeah. You just need to go somewhere where it's about football, about team, and just let him get back to his OBJ style.
I really like how you said that. Hear about him on Sundays and Mondays, not the rest of the week. Because right now, there's a lot of midweek chatter, right?
Exactly.
That's what you want to avoid. Okay, Dwayne, the Chiefs have won the last two. That was quite a weird game against the Packers. Obviously, no Aaron Rodgers. They're trying to right the ship, but it seems really difficult. Troubles on the O-line, troubles on defense. What are you seeing from the Chiefs?
I see a team that's really trying to find their identity back again. You get two losses in a row as a very, very competitive team. It kind of, in the inside, like your heart, it makes you feel like, man, do we still got it? Then once you see guys start getting hurt and unavailable to play, it just trickles on down. And I think right now, they got all the chatter out the way. They got all their trying not to be perfect out the way so they could just go out there and play. They were just trying to live up to the fan expectation and what it is to be a Chiefs. And sometimes you just got to go back to square one and just snap after snap, just defeat your guy and just watch it play out at the end. I think right now they just the weather's changing, so those guys finna start grinding a little harder. it's going to get tough for a lot of guys. Like, this is our best time that we play good is November on. So I feel like they're going to go on a run right now and be unstoppable.
Do you think the refs in football now are going a little too far by, not letting guys taunt, not letting guys celebrate?
I think they are, but I think they're also setting the standards for, the younger guys and Pop Warner and the younger guys and, JV and varsity to be, it's a team sport. And it's like they preach good sportsmanship. So if they see it at a high level, guys standing in your face, taunting them, it's just going to trickle down to the little league, and then guys are not going to have respect for each other. So I think they're calling it, the way they should be calling it. It could get a little excessive sometime, but I think they're calling it how they're supposed to call it.
Mm-hmm.
I like what you were saying about the Chiefs trying to figure out who they are when they've been so used to winning. When it comes to Patrick Mahomes in particular, some of the throws he's making, to me as a fan, look like he's trying to be the great MVP Patrick Mahomes when he's kind of missing short, obvious passes. Do you think he's forcing stuff?
I think he's just trying to, like you said, be great instead of just being consistently good.
Mm-hmm.
And, they hold him to a high standard. Once they pay you that much money, in your head, you figure you have to go back to last year, the year before, man, Patrick Mahomes. You just have to be, 2021 Patrick Mahomes, just make the small plays count. And I think, watching film from them losses, I think he finally got it that he's going to go in and he's just going to play like Pat. He's not going to be the Mahomes that everybody is used to him being until he gets that run again to where his confidence is there. Everybody on the team is catching crazy passes. It's right now they're just trying to find their identity again. I think, like I said, November on is where they find it.
Would you have loved to play with Mahomes? And who was your favorite quarterback of all the quarterbacks you played with?
Oh my gosh! Of course, I would have loved to play with Mahomes. I mean, who wouldn't? This guy, his numbers, the way he get the team involved, I would have been yin and yang. But my favorite quarterback, I had so many, I couldn't call it a favorite. Matt Castle, me and him went to the Pro Bowl in 2010. He was a very, very good friend of mine. Alex Smith was also really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't have that kind of open offense to where he can beat a Pat Mahomes. We was trying to find ourselves. We had different coaches every year, so we were steady trying to find ourselves within the organization. So that's kind of hard to let the guys go out there and be, who you drafted them to be. You have to start internal and then go out external,
Would it be hard for you when you were in the huddle, though, if you were playing with Mahomes and he started talking? Would it be hard not to laugh because his voice sounds like Yoda?
Oh,
that's ice cold.
Oh my God! Of course, I'd have been making jokes and making them laugh. I mean, after hearing his voice, it would have sunk in. But he definitely sounds just like Yoda.
What do you think about his brother? His brother Jackson Mahomes. Is he a distraction or what's going on? What's your opinion on Jackie? Little brother Jackie.
That's like my brother that's in here. When I was in Kansas City, he was a social media guy. Everybody was like, "You seen what your brother posted? You seen what your brother did?" And I'm like, I'm here with it, but my brother has his own life, and I think Pat just let him be him. It's entertaining, But Pat got such a strong personality that that's not going to distract him. But for us and the fans, it looks like a distraction, but it's really not. Just let him live and let him, keep that kind of energy over there, which is good energy. But he's just, like I said, he knows how to get in your head. And I think does a great job, man.
That's funny that you say your brother was kind of similar at the time. I mean, TikTok wasn't even around then, but now it's like this whole world.
Yes.
It's crazy. Yeah, Jackson is he gets a lot of headlines. The Chiefs have Oakland this weekend. That's a huge rivalry. The Raiders have a lot going on. What can you imagine that locker room is like with the departure of John Gruden, all the controversy around that, and now Henry Ruggs?
I mean, it's just a stale environment right now. From when AB left, it just was like I said, it's a trickle down effect, and it starts up top. So if that happened when AB was there, that means all of this been going on while he was there, but nobody knew it, and everybody get on AB and say, "Oh, he's a bad guy. He did this, he did that." when it really came from the top, and he's just playing his position as wanting to win, wanting to be the best player on the team, and sometimes being boisterous and being the best player on the team, when it's up top, kind of don't end that well. And it's like right now, it's just one thing after another. And Henry Ruggs, I mean, that locker room, I know they're devastated.
Yeah.
Like I said, they're a good team. They're gonna come together and they're gonna play hard. They play Kansas City hard every year, but I know inside that locker room it's got to be stale for that guy. Henry was like me. He came with the music. He came with the swag. He had everybody dancing. It's just you lose that, you kind of lose the mojo, and guys go back into their shell and try not to make mistakes, and it's a trickle down effect that you don't want as a player in the organization.
You know, it's interesting because from a fan perspective, you only see the players on the field. You never get this perspective from a player that, you know, the things from up top weren't right. The chemistry wasn't right. Decisions weren't being made. 2010, you obviously showed what you can do. And so that begs a lot of questions like, was this guy just in a lot of the bad situations throughout the rest of his career? What clicked for you in 2010 that made it all go right for you to lead the league in receptions and be the all-pro that you were?
Like I said, from up top, those coaches, the OC, they wanted me to tune in, and they didn't want me to come to Miami for the offseason. So I took it my first time not coming back home.
Wow.
My family, I went and trained with Larry Fitzgerald. And
wow,
that was the best thing I ever did. I stayed out of trouble. I stayed working out. I was in the best shape of my life. I just had a little boy, so it was kind of hard being able to see my son. And I'm over here training with a whole bunch of guys I don't know. But the outcome paid off. I led the league that year. I'm very grateful for the relationship I built with all the guys from over there by Larry, and you know, the relationship I got with the coaching staff for believing that I could be this good of a player. And I just took that every year, and after that year, and I just rolled with it. Just separate yourself. You got to separate yourself, and like you have to really leave everything alone. I'm talking about your family, your friends. When you want to be that great, you have to cut off a lot of people. A lot of people don't know that. You have to really tune everybody out. Wife, girlfriend, mama, you have to tune them out. When the coaches say tune them out, and he had like 30 players do that, and that's how, you know, that year we was amazing. We all tuned out and just, but it's very hard to do if you don't come from an SEC school.
Wow.
Yeah, SEC.
Make you tune it out, and that's like I said, that's the attribute that Saban, you know, instilled in us, is tuning things out, and just no matter what the score is, just keep, you know, foot on the gas, and that's what I did.
That's fascinating. That is interesting.
Okay, I've got to ask, because I have been a sideline reporter for ESPN the last 5 years, and I once got chewed out by Nick Saban on live TV during a halftime interview. And I know I said I was done talking about LSU, but I'm not done talking about Nick Saban. Do you have a really good Nick Saban story that still kind of makes you laugh?
Oh my God, let me remember one. Okay. It was my freshman year. He had this program called Fourth Quarter Program. It was a strength conditioning program. They wake you up 4:30 in the morning, get on the bus, travel to the inside of the stadium. We made us run the whole entire stadium. Every seat in the stadium we had to touch, right? And then that, oh my God, we had to run like 2,600-yard dashes. And it was like a circuit program that made, every time we did it, every week, at least 2 guys quit every week. Like main guys, like even Marcus Spears almost walked out. And I was like,
that's good to know.
He said, "Oh, your grandma telling you coming home." I was like, I had asthma too. I was like,
wow.
I can't breathe. He was like, "Call your grandma and tell you coming home." I was like, okay. And I think he instilled in me like toughness that was unbelievable. From that day, I think I was unstoppable. Like my mind was gone. Like my spirit was just there. And he was just like, "You see what I did for you? I told you, if I can't break you, you're gonna break all kind of records." And I didn't let him break me. And he still to this day, like when he had the big games, I call and check on him, and he always bring up that story. Remember I told you to call your grandma?
You still talk with Saban? Okay, well, I have something I think I could have you text him for me. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's 2 words. It's really short. I'm kidding.
Does Saban ever? Does he have a lighter side? Does he like to, go out and get lapped in? I mean, what does the guy do for fun?
No.
Yeah, that's the only fun he get out of it is winning and paying his players for the media. His players talk so well and know how to answer questions even when they try to revert them onto talking about different players. I think his mind frame and how he set players up to be professionals is the only fun that he get out of it.
Wow. I have more of a fun question that I've always been curious about. When you're a professional athlete, you make it to that level. Everybody sees everybody's contracts. Everybody knows what everybody's making. When you guys go out to dinner, do you make the guy who's got the biggest contract pay? How do you split that check?
No, you actually make the guy with the smallest contract pay.
Ouch.
Yeah, since he want to hang with the big boys, you take on the big bill. That's how we like my rookie year. Oh my God, it took me to what restaurant that was where they took us to and I had to pay. I remember the bill was like Fogo de Chao.
Steakhouse?
It was Fogo de Chao when they first opened up.
Oh, on the plaza.
Yeah, the bill was like $4,000. It was like, and I was like, I know I went first round, but I'm a rookie, man. Okay. Ordering Louis the 13 shots and
yeah. Remind me to never go to dinner with you, because I don't want to pick up that check.
Yeah. That was horrible. That's horrible.
So, Dwayne, you live in Miami. Were you at the game when the Chiefs won it 2 years ago?
No, I actually held a Super Bowl party at my house.
Oh, sweet. That's much better.
It was so bad. We had a big party, and we watched it on the big screen. I had like 100 people here, a lot of old players. I just wanted to be like in my own home and enjoy it. But I've been to the last one.
Yeah. Well, then don't go anymore because then you were bad luck if you were at the last one.
Yep. Now you know.
Well, this is really awesome. We laughed a lot with you. I know exactly where you stand in Kansas City. I'm going to think of you every time I go to Fogo de Chao. Thank you so much for your time, Dwayne.
Thank you for having me.
You were awesome.
You guys have made it. Thank you.